What do you think are the top challenges that HR organizations in Asia face today, and how do you think they can be addressed?
I guess if you think about Asia for a moment, there are kind of three major segments. Segments where the HR challenges are in places like Singapore with very low unemployment as kind of category one. Category two would be areas or regions which are running at single-digit unemployment, and then region three where there's massive unemployment but low skilled talent. If I was putting all those three in the same bucket, I would say the biggest single issue is how do you hire your key non-commoditized talent in order to significantly affect your financial statements. The second big challenge that is being faced is how do you reduce the attrition of this key talent. And the third big challenge that is being faced is how do you control the relevant costs associated with the key talent. And the best way I would think about looking at this issue would be most organizations that have really strong HR practices have three things when they're looking at hiring: really good processes, really good systems, and a really clear employment brand. If those three things are in place, the porousness of the information that is currently available on the internet or on social media or on numerous different forms of communication will allow that organization to really get the candidate flow that they need in order to select what they view is the best talent for their organization. Now, there is a perception problem in category number three type countries where you have large unemployment but still talent shortages, with senior leaders saying, I don't have to worry about talent because look at the unemployment rate, it's very high. That to me is an oxymoron. There's a big difference in delta in regions around Asia where there could be shortage of talent combined with high unemployment. And the challenge for HR in these category three markets is to educate the senior leaders to be able to distinguish between high national or regional unemployment versus shortage in particular talents.
What are the key points to consider in finding the right people both onshore and offshore, and how important is this in maintaining high level of service?
The onshore-offshore model has now been around for about 20 years plus. And what is happening is that this talent pool has now become global in nature. And so key talent in these situations are really very, very marketable. And it's really, at the end of the day, now a seller's market, which is the key talent can name its price and its location and its benefits as to where they wish to participate in this very large and rapidly growing market. In the past, the onshore-offshore players were selling their services primarily on being the cheapest. And because that was their business model, they developed a somewhat negative reputation as an employer. Because what they would do, or what they would be viewed as by the general talent, is this place will pay you very little money and work you really hard because their business model requires really low wages. That model is now changing because the onshore-offshore model is now not only selling on cheaper and faster, they're selling on better. So these organizations now have a branding issue that they need to overcome. And to me, the best way these organizations can overcome it is using a three kind of strategy method. The first is accept and embrace the reputation. Be very transparent about it. Everyone knows about it, talk about it, be honest as to why it happened from a historical perspective and what you're going to be doing to change that. Number two is offer the talent opportunities outside the native countries. Because there is this yearning in a lot of people that play in this space to really experience life in not only multiple countries, but multiple cultures. So if you can create an environment and a process whereby you allow people to change locations and work with the governments to get them the appropriate paperwork, you will find that you'll be able to attract it. And the third part of the strategy is to show these very, very talented people how they can create a really powerful career in this space. Because this business model is going to be with us for a long time to come. And individuals who are talented in this field can make a long-term career in this vertical.
Now in IBM, I love this line. A smarter workforce makes a smarter business. Please tell us more about this concept and what value does IBM bring to the table?
If you think about smarter workforce, it really is the largest single spend in an enterprise. So smart business knows that the current trend, which is now running at 56% of the top line in terms of people and people-related costs in a kind of S&P 500 operating income statement, has been climbing over the last 30 years. It's unsustainable. The whole notion of smarter workforce making a really strong and powerful foundation to a smarter business or smart business or a smarter enterprise, whatever phrase you wish to use, is being able to apply smarter workforce techniques in driving productivity that significantly affect your financial statements. And so what I exactly mean by that is additional productivity is very simply this. How can an enterprise sell more and spend less? Hiring the right kind of talent can have an effect on your top line because it will increase your sales either through stronger sales capability, better delivery, better innovation, better engineering, whatever may be the area you operate in. And if you hire the right people in the right job that are engaged in what they're doing, your productivity improvements through discretionary work effort will drive down costs without necessarily asking people to work more and hard. And when you really think about it, every single individual wants to work for a winner. Productivity for companies of that sort create a winning environment, and everyone wants to be a part of it. Great companies aren't made by cutting themselves into greatness. Great companies are made through innovation, through offering the marketplace the ability to either dream big or meet their dreams or whatever the case might be. And so if you think about your smarter workforce and you think about bringing productivity and think about creating a winning team, at the end of the day, those enterprises will win.